Hello, welcome to the Research World. Today lecture we are going to talk about IGNOU TE June 2019 CHE4 Physical Chemistry. We already discussed question number 1 to 7. In this particular video, we are going to continue with question number 8. This is our question number 8. Calculate the average speed of nitrogen molecule at 300 Kelvin. That is our room temperature. Well, mainly there are three type of velocity. That is the first one is most probable speed. That is expressed in PMP. The mathematical formula of PMP, that is our 2RT by M, where R that is our gas constant, T our temperature, and M our molar mass. The second one is average speed. Well, we already know average speed, that is our express B average. Well, the mathematical expression the addition of each individual molecular velocity whole divided by number of molecule present. Well, this is our 8RT by pi m, where we already discussed R this is our gas constant, T temperature, M molecular mass, and pi. Well, the third one is that is our root mean square velocity. The express in RMS. Well, if we square root the average speed, we will get root mean square velocities. Well, that is our RMS square root the average speed, that is our V1 square plus V2 whole divided by N. Well, the mathematical expression, that is our 3RT whole divided by M. Well, but in this particular questions, calculate the average speed of nitrogen molecule at 300 Kelvin, that is our room temperature. Well, in this particular questions they asked average speed, so that we put this formula mathematical expression, that is our the average speed of nitrogen molecules at temperature 300 Kelvin. Here our mathematical expression, that is 8 B1 plus B2 whole divided by N, that is our 8RT by pi M, where R that is our gas constant. The value of gas constant we put, that is will take, that is 8.314 joule mole Kelvin, and T our temperature. In this particular questions, here our temperature is 300 Kelvins and M our molar mass, that is our molar mass in kg. Well, how we find out the molar mass of nitrogen molecules? Let's discuss. Here in this particular cases, the atomic mass of nitrogen that is our 28 gram, that is our mu. But if we express it into kg, we just multiply with 10 to the power minus 3, that is our 28 into 10 to the power minus 3 kilogram. Well, we just put all this value in these equations, we will get, that is our 8 into, in our place, that is our 8.314 joule mole kelvins. Then temperature, that is our 300 Kelvin, and the pi value will take that pi value 3.14. This is our pi value 3.14. Then the atomic mass of nitrogen, that is our 28 into 10 to the power minus 3 kilogram. Well, we calculate this, all this, we get, that is our C673.72 meter per second. This is our average speed of nitrogen molecule at 300 kelvins. This is our question number 9. Differentiate between integral enthalpy of solutions and differential enthalpy of solutions. Well, this is our integral enthalpy of solutions. Let's try to understand integral enthalpy of solutions with the help of an examples. Well, this is our examples. We take a beakers and take some water and added H2SO4, that is 1 mole of H2SO4. But in the beaker, we'll take n mole of H2O, that is our waters. If we added this H2SO4 into water and mix, some heat is released or evolved or absorbed. But in this particular cases, some energy, some heat is evolved. Well, this is our integral enthalpy of solutions. If we express its definitions, we write like this: integral enthalpy of solution is the heat absorbed or released when a solute is dissolved in a definite amount of solvent. In this particular cases, we dissolve H2SO4, that is 1 mole of H2SO4 in a n mole of H2O that we contain that beakers. Well, if the heat of the solutions depend on the nature of the solute and on its concentration in the final solutions. How many amount of heat is released, that depends on the nature of the solute and the concentration of the solute present in that particular solutions. Well, the next is differential enthalpy of solutions. Well, let's try to understand differential enthalpy of solution with the help of an example. In this particular cases, we will also take a beaker and added some water in this particular beakers. Then we added 1 mole of solute, that is our NaCl. In this beaker, we contain salt solutions. When we added 1 mole of solute NaCl in this solutions, some enthalpy are required, some heat are required. So that we also express its definition like this: differential enthalpy of solution is stated as the change in enthalpy required when dissolved 1 mole of solute in large volume of solutions of a specified concentrations. Well, this 1 mole of solute, that is our NaCl, when we added a large volume of solution, not solvent, large volume of solutions, please scare it peoples, the how many change in enthalpy required, that is our differential enthalpy of solutions. If further 1 mole of solute is added, it does not affect the concentration of solutions. If further again 1 mole of solute is added in these solutions, its concentration does not change. That is our all about integral enthalpy of solution and differential enthalpy of solutions. Well, this is our question number 10. Write the expression for distribution coefficient of a solute X which remains undissociated in phase 1 and has concentration C1 in it, but it dissociated into A and B in phase 2. Its total concentration in phase 2 is C2, while alpha is the degree of dissociations. Let's understand and solve these questions. Well, in this, according to these questions, X, that is our solute, and where C2, our total concentration of X, concentration of X in phase 2, that is before dissociation, and C1, that is our concentration of X in phase 1. Well, X in phase 2, X that is our solute in phase 2, it undergo dissociation into A and B, and alpha that is our degree of dissociation. Well, if we draw its reaction where X that is our solute, and after dissociation undergo dissociation into A and B, X dissociated into A and B. Here according to these questions, alpha that is our degree of dissociation, and C2 that is our total concentration of X that is a solute in phase 2, and C1 that is the concentration of X solute in phase 1. So eventually the concentration of the undissociated molecules of X in phase 2, that is our C2, and as for the this is our as for the distribution law. Well, so that this is our C2 alpha, and here this is our C2 1 minus alpha. As per the distribution law, the distribution coefficient, that is our distribution coefficient expressed as K. Here K, the concentration of X in phase 1 whole divided by the concentration of undissociated X that is solute in phase 2. This is our undissociated solute in phase 2. We already discussed. Well, the concentration of X solute in phase 1, that is our the concentration of X in phase 1, that is our C1 whole divided by concentration of undissociated solute in phase 2, that is our dissociated solute in phase 2, that is C2 whole into 1 minus alpha. This is our distribution coefficient. Well, this is the question number 11. The solubility of silver chloride is 1.37 10 to the power minus 5 m at 298 kelvins. Calculate its solubility product. Well, here AgCl is insoluble in waters. Well, if we express its chemical expression, that is our AgCl plus H2O, that is Ag plus and Cl minus. This AgCl, our solid, then when it dissolve in water, we get aqueous Ag plus and Cl minus. So we write aqueous here. Well, this is our solubility, and here Ag plus also solubility and Cl minus also solubility. If we express our K value, that is we already some before knowledge about this K, how to retain the K value, that is Ag plus concentrations Cl minus divided by H2O. Well, if we bring this H2O to this K plus, we get K H2O, that is Ag plus plus Cl minus. This is our solubility product, and Ag plus and Cl minus are also solubility and also solubility. Here this solubility product is expressed as KSP and solubility is expressed in S. So here two solubility, so two S are present. If we express KSP, that is our S square. According to these questions, the solubility of silver chloride is 1.37 into 10 to the power minus 5 m at 298 Kelvin, that is our room temperature. Well, let's solve these questions. AgCl gives Ag plus Cl minus our Ksp, that is our solubility product, Ag plus Cl minus. Is it clear? Well, this is our S and S square. According to these questions, our solubility of silver chloride is 1.37 into 10 to the power minus 5 mole. So that we used 1.37 into 10 to the power minus 5 mole, and here 1.37 10 to the power minus 5, that is also 1.37 into 10 to the power minus 5 m square. Use any one. Well, the result is 1.87 into 10 to the power minus 10, that is our answer. The solubility product of silver chloride, that is our AgCl. Well, one thing remember people, already the solubility given in m, but if it does not given in m, it is given in G or kg, first we change into mole m, then we put the value in this S place. Okay, thank you.